You learn a lot. You know, you learn how to cope with people and you learn to paint. And that's what I always wanted to do.
It's much more than I ever expected. And I'm so glad I was in it.
I've made several friends with the senior citizen. Good friends.
I can always come on Fairfax Avenue and feel that I have done something for the city of Los Angeles and the Jewish people.
A piece of good art. That's the most important thing for us as artists, to do artistically a good mural.
And I'm excited about the idea of coming back here over the years and seeing some work that I had a part of be displayed continually in this neighborhood.
One of the reasons I wanted to coordinate this project was to help in the revitalization of the Fairfax area, which is really the most visible Jewish neighborhood in Los Angeles. Here's this wonderfully ethnic neighborhood, which seemed to me at the time to be just crying out to have a mural done, which would really reflect a sense of pride in the community and its heritage. So we recruited both senior citizens and teens from the local area, who worked together as volunteers along with a team of professional artists, and together they spent 10 months in researching, designing, and painting the mural on the history of the Los Angeles Jewish community. The very first thing that we did in the research phase of the project was to take a walking tour together of the Fairfax neighborhood.
How long have you been here?
Oh, a long time, 14 years.
14 years? You live in the neighborhood?
Yeah.
We do a lot of shopping here. I like the produce, I like the choice, and I don't know, I just prefer it over a supermarket. Yeah, so definitely.
How long have you been here?
In Los Angeles, how long have you been?
20 years.
20 years.
20 years. Where did you come from?
Come from concentration camp.
I always know where there's a war in the world because somebody will show up from that area here, whether it's in the Near East or in Afghanistan or in China. Wherever there's trouble, people come here and they'll say, I need a job, and they'll talk in an accent that I don't remember or I haven't heard before, and I'll know that they're from this place wherever the trouble is. It seems that for some reason this area, it's like an Ellis Island with cars.
In the process of researching the neighborhood, what the participants began to find is that Fairfax is a very diverse community. It's made up of people of many different cultures. And our group also was a diverse group. We had not only people of different age groups, but of different cultural backgrounds and heritage as well. Our goal in making this an intergenerational project with both senior citizens and teenagers was to take these two groups of people that usually have very little contact with each other, if any, and to provide a vehicle for them to work together and create something together, and also in the process to learn a lot about each other. How many people feel a little bit uncomfortable around older people, unless it's someone you know, like a grandparent or something? It's okay, you can confess. We're all together in this.
Probably for many of them, we are the old foggy generation.
That's right.
Foggy.
Old fogey. How many of us have heard that one? Old fogey. Okay.
And they have too much freedom and they don't know what to do with it because they don't have the structure.
I think they can go in any direction.
They are also very prompt to use papa and mama to get things they don't have. Borrow the car, borrow money, or most things. In my time, you were not allowed to do that. You had to do that by yourself, period.
They always tell you about the things that when I was your age, I didn't have this, and I didn't have that, and I didn't have a car.
Yeah. Well, if you keep all of that in mind, what made you guys want to work on this project, knowing that there were going to be senior citizens involved in it as well?
I'd like to make some friends who are older people. I like helping people, and older people usually need more help than kids my age. So I think if they have problems, I'd like to help them out or help them whatever if they need something to get it for them.
My neighbor, he's pretty old, and he's always asking me questions, and I can't understand that. I hate that. No one likes to be asked questions all the time. And I ask him why he's always bothering me, and he says he's learning from me, which surprises me. I would think he'd know more than I would. He says he learns from me.
I never got to meet any of my grandparents, and I thought it'd be a really good opportunity to be around senior citizens because I wanted to learn from them. And I think they have a lot to offer me. I've learned about how the older people have grown up and hard times and good times, and I think everyone's going to become closer. We'll be like a big family.
I love to play the piano.
You still play?
Yes, every day.
You should try the electric guitar.
Oh, well, maybe I will.
From this project, I hope to gain probably a lot of new friends and maybe some exposure to art and learn a lot about art and history of Fairfax and the Jewish community. Today I learned that it's good to get closer to people of all ages and to get to know people, and you shouldn't be afraid to go talk to people and meet people. You can learn a lot from people of all different ages. Older people, they're usually separated. They're in different homes, different places. You know, you're not in contact with them except on the street, and people don't talk on the street. People don't just say hi, you know, talk to people they don't know.
When we think of Jewish Los Angeles, we think of Fairfax Avenue because it is, after all, the most visible Jewish neighborhood in Los Angeles. But actually, Jews have lived in various other neighborhoods in Los Angeles from the 1840s. In addition to being the chairperson of the youth department of the Jewish Federation Council, which was the sponsor of the Mural project, I'm also an officer of the Southern California Jewish Historical Society. And in that role, I was able to take the participants on various tours of Jewish Los Angeles, where we went back into the various neighborhoods, visited some of the places that have been important to us. We were able to really get a sense of what life was like in those neighborhoods in the past. Many of the seniors involved in the project had lived in the neighborhoods that we were talking about, or they remembered the events that are depicted in the mural. And in that way, we were able to make it a real personal thing, that these were events that they had some connection to. That was how we took history, which could have been very dry, and in a sense made it a living thing and ultimately put it on the wall.
Well, this church was built in 1909 as a synagogue. Nothing has changed.
If you look here, you can see the history of the members. They came over from Europe. They arrived in New York. There you see organizing the labor unions and working so that people could have better conditions in working. And then here you see them, you know, after they've come to Venice.
A lot of you folks remember probably the picture, the jazz singer without Joseph. That picture was made right here.
Through the Mural project, we really developed a lot of different skills. We became, in a sense, anthropologists, archaeologists, sociologists. We used all of these different skills in order to get the information that ultimately we wanted to present on the mural. Since this was going to be a historical mural, we had to find a way of showing the events that made up our story in Los Angeles from the 1840s to the present. And the way that we decided to do that was by actual photographs. So what we did was we visited archives. We went to, for example, the Los Angeles Public Library, and we looked through their newspaper photograph collection. We called people up and asked them to go through their family albums so that we would get images that were representative of all of the various things that Jews had participated in. In selecting an artist for the project, we wanted to find someone who worked in this medium and we came to Arthur Mortimer, who had done several other murals in this photorealistic style.
I've never really done a project where I've had to assist other people in doing my work. It's really neat in the interreactions between people, getting to know people, finding out about their lives, working with them, sharing a work experience with senior citizens or with high school students, getting to know them as people, as friends, spending time with them. That's really neat. I hope that the participants have gotten out of this thing some idea of what it's like to really do a project like this. And most of it is a lot of hard work. What I've got is basically my working environment, and I do other things besides murals, so you're not going to see mural stuff everywhere. But I have things like some in boxes that I can get out, and I've got a couple things that I've gotten out already. And I will try to get things out. I have a bunch of things that I framed up for a show that show how I do things. And then my studio is upstairs at the back of the house, and we can all go up there and feel free to ask questions and so forth. And here's a photograph of the finished thing. So you can see, this is take the photograph first, pick out the photograph we're going to use, figure out how it's going to go on the wall, and then paint this. But this is painted not from this, but from this.
Which is what we'll be doing.
This is what I was holding in my hand while I was working on this. A large part of painting a mural is the process of painting a mural, which is beginnings of which we're going through here, trying to figure out what we're going to do and so forth. And that's all part of the experience to me in painting a mural, is the process.
For all of us, with the exception of the professional artists, we'd never painted a mural before, so we wanted to learn all that we could about that particular art form. We're fortunate that in Los Angeles, many walls have murals on them, and we got a full exposure to the various range of types of murals, different styles, different techniques, different surfaces. We were able to learn a lot about the mural art form as a whole, and then how it has been used in various communities to reflect their struggles, their prides, their heritage. In that way, we could translate what we learned into our mural in the Fairfax area. This is really unique because, as far as I know, this is the only Jewish mural in a public place in Los Angeles, and ours will really be the major one, since very few people who come over here know this is around. But basically, this tells the story from right to left, or from left to right, actually, of how Jews came to Venice, California.
I have seen several murals in Los Angeles, and I think it's a nice way of expressing some feeling, and I felt helping on a project like that will be very interesting, very challenging, meeting young people. I am delighted to be with young people because I love young people. I think I can offer a lot of them to them. At the same time, I get richer by sharing with them their joy, their experience, their desire to do something special.
This is a wedding scene, and it's by the East Los Streetscapers. They're 3 artists that work as a team, and they paint murals on subjects of Chicano history.
The colors are bright up close because they're colors laid down on top of each other, and each color fires an adjacent color.
Is that what you want our mural to be like, or?
I'm not going to say what I want our mural to be like. The community has to come up with some of the ideas.
One of the main things that a mural can provide in a city such as Los Angeles is a focus in a neighborhood. It can visual focus, I think it helps give people a sense of identity. So something like this can really give people a sense of history in the place that they do live in, which I think is something that's very lacking in Los Angeles. And I think this is a wonderful idea, and I'm very pleased and grateful to have the opportunity to participate.
My name is Irina Minovich, and well, there's several reasons why I joined the Mural project. To begin with, I've always wanted to know more about my Jewish heritage, but because I was born in Russia and my parents and I were both not allowed to learn or practice our religion, I haven't really been able to learn much about Judaism. And working on this project where we'll be compiling a lot of information and just researching a lot, this gives me the perfect opportunity to finally learn more about my heritage.
I just want to thank you for inviting us here and kind of make a plea. The plea is the mural will only be as good as the material collected. It's a collective. There is material out there, visual material that a lot of people haven't seen. If you could go out and find it, talk to maybe people who've been in the community a long time, see if you can find that visual material, those ideas, and bring them to us. And mural will be a good mural then. It's a part of you, and it's a part of your history, and it's going to be a part of my history as well.
I would like to see a nice, strong mural with big images that really catches people's attention and communicates to them very, sort of like a billboard does, with big, simple images that really get the information across quickly. And then there would be more subtle details in it that would convey more of the story. Well, one way of doing that would be to have, if we could find these 7 perfect pictures for each of these periods, if we could find one picture that told the whole story of the 1850s, of this period, there would have one big picture, so we'd have a series, just 7 perfect pictures that just summed everything up. Well, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think we're going to find images, photographs, or combinations of photographs, or whatever, that are going to tell that one story, that whole story in one image. And there are different ways of combining images. Let's say you pick out 4 or 5 pictures that are it. This is it. These are the best pictures we got. This tells the best story. And say maybe one big picture, and then into the sky of that picture we can incorporate a bunch of other pictures. I think pretty much we've decided the work we've done to fit it into some kind of a format like this. And there has to be some kind of way of establishing consistency. Looking at the photographs, we'll see all different kinds of photographs, all different kinds of images in each period. And we've got to find some way in the groups and as a whole of organizing all of that into what's going on in each panel, and then having that all fit into the plan of the whole thing. Because I want this to be not only a historical document, as I said before, but the best piece of art that we can possibly make.
Opening a farmer's market doesn't show
Because that's awfully busy now, and I don't want it to take away from the panels.
There, this is the Neighbor's Beauty Contest.
Oh, that's neat. With the different chapters.
Yeah.
This is the first business establishment, and these are the horses, so you can kind of tell what period it is. And then down here we're going to have a typical Jewish family with the Jewish dress and everything, so you can also tell what period we're in. Say what?
It's the Niemark's family.
That's the Niemark family.
Yeah.
That's it. Well, all right, you guys. Any questions?
Can we look closer?
That's it. This is it.
It'll be very nice to look at.
Yeah, I like
I'm proud of that.
Yeah.
Because we had a lot of input on that.
Okay, gang, how do we do?
Okay.
Is anybody unhappy?
I don't care what
I
you
like
get.
my
It's
panel.
mine out of our bonnet.
I like my panel.
Right.
Oh, yeah, right.
This is marvelous. That's what's going up there.
I think it's been a very exciting, a very great experience for all of us. It's going to be a great experience for this whole neighborhood. Everybody's excited. Everybody that goes by wants to know what we're doing. And I think it's a wonderful thing.
After so many months of researching and designing the mural, it was quite a thrill the day that we finally got to go out there and actually begin painting and get our hands dirty and really get to work on the wall. And you could feel it among all of the participants that this is what we had been working so hard for. We really wanted to involve the whole community in the process of painting the mural. So on the day of the annual Israel Walk Festival, whose route passed right by the mural site, we held a contest to guess how many pints of paint it would take to finish the mural. On the day that we finally finished all of the sketching and all of the wall preparation, we're ready to put the first dabs of paint on the wall. We made it a giant community celebration with all of the neighborhood invited and public officials, and we called it a can opening. The whole community came out and it was a great celebration.
This is the most prominent wall in this part of town, at least in this Fairfax area. This wall is seen by more people every day than you can imagine. This wall is going to be still the most preeminent wall in the Fairfax Avenue area. It's still going to be seen by more people than see any other wall in our neighborhood. But it's going to have a meaning and a message. It's going to be an anchor to this street without the adverse impacts that so many other anchors have. For me, I feel very much a personal attachment to it, because every one of us who are sitting here, in one way or another, have a piece of this mural.
First of all, I want to say how special this is for me. From the point almost 3 years ago, standing in front of this wall thinking, gee, wouldn't it be nice to have a mural here? Going through all the process of writing grant proposals, pulling together the necessary people, and it's just wonderful to see it become a reality.
At first, I had my doubts about being in this project because I'm Catholic, and I thought that this project was more of a Jewish one. But I later found out that that's not necessarily true. I mean, sure, it is the depiction of the history of Jews in Los Angeles, but it's also a community project, one that everyone in this community, regardless of race or religion, should participate in.
Los Angeles is a community that appreciates art, culture, and here we have one of the great art forms, a wall that Zev has described rather well, that is being transformed from its barren state to one which is going to now project the kind of beauty, the kind of history, and the kind of education and enjoyment of art that is so much a part of the entire Fairfax area. Congratulations to you. Mazel tov.
He's taking out the first can of paint here. There he is.
There we go.
Before it was just like something far away. You never know if it's ever going to get finished, but now we know it's going to get done.
I've been waiting a long time for this, looking forward to it. And now I'm really enjoying seeing that I could actually put the paint on and make it come to life.
All the images in the wall, on the wall, you can see we've just presented them as the documents that they are. And actually each image is a painting of a photograph. We're keeping the content of the image exactly as it was in the photograph. And we work directly from the photograph when we're painting. We take the photograph, we draw grid lines on the photo and grid lines on the wall correspondingly to scale, grid lines on the wall, and then use that to draw everything out. And then when we're painting it, we paint directly from the photograph to try and get the thing to look, the painting to look as much like the photograph as possible.
This is a rifle club founded by Sheriff Emil Harris. He was the first Jewish sheriff in LA, and he founded this rifle club. And this is sort of nice because it looks like they had, Civil War uniforms on.
Not only was he police chief, but he was the premier detective, and after he retired from the force, he formed his own detective agency. He was really an important leader both in the general community and the Jewish community. He and his brother organized the first YMHA in Los Angeles, which later was part of the Jewish Community Center movement.
Believe it or not, I'm filling in white dots at this moment. We can't have one white dot in the black. That's serious.
We might also look at a period in terms of a Jewish contribution. Okay, so that the movies, you could have a movie about a lot of different things. As it happened, the first talkie was about what?
The cantor's son, what was it?
Right, the jazz singer. Right, okay. So the jazz singer is a good example of something that works for us on a lot of different levels. It was filmed in the Breed Street Shul, which we visited in Boyle Heights, and it involves the story of something that's important and tells a story about Jews in America.
One Sunday morning, the casting director came. We were out sitting on the porch, and the casting director came out and he said, "Hey, fellas, do you want to get into the movies?" And I says, "Well, what do you mean you want to get in the movies?" He says, "We need some extras for a shul scene for the jazz singer." And we both took the job. We had taluses in a yarmulke, and we took the job, which paid $7.50 with a free box lunch. And we made one scene all day long of the shul scene, and I have gone to several movies of the jazz singer, never found myself in the picture.
I grew up in Boyle Heights after the 30s, and I remember exactly the way in this picture, the Cantor brothers, when you got a bowl of soup for a dime. And some of the other places down there, yeah, are very familiar, and they bring back a lot of memories.
I'd like to see one of the small pictures in there be a picture of us working on the mural. Because it's Fairfax today, and it's a picture of, that's what was happening today, 1985, was that we were painting a mural. What we would do is go out, wait till we get, we leave one of them would be blank. And then when we actually do start work, we would go out and take some pictures, and pick the best picture and paint that into that blank.
You like that, fella?
Great. You know,
Thanks, Lou.
with 2 bypasses on both legs, and I can go up.
Is that it?
Jewish tradition teaches us that in the world to come, your elders shall dream dreams, and your youth shall see visions. Today we have an opportunity to have a taste of the world to come, to share in those dreams and visions. As we unveil this beautiful new work of art, we also celebrate the joining together that this mural represents. It symbolizes the joining together of community and government agencies, of business and individual, contributing of their funds, their time, and their creativity to provide an experience for teens and seniors that also serves to enhance the cultural and physical climate of this neighborhood and our city at large. Thank you for coming this morning.
Harry and Stephen and I have had a wonderful time. It's been hard sometimes and easy sometimes and fun sometimes and all kinds of things mixed up together. I don't really have anything planned to say, but I just want to let all you people know in this community that you have a wonderful, wonderful community here. I am amazed, and it has been a fantastic experience being a part of this community. And I'm very honored and pleased to have been given the opportunity to do this work and this opportunity to participate in your neighborhood here. And I hope that we've been able to contribute something that will become a part of this community and enrich the lives of the people who live here.
It is now time for us to formally unveil our beautiful new mural. The mural was painted from actual period photographs, researched from thousands of photographs in archives and personal collections. Each of the 7 panels covers a span of years in Los Angeles Jewish history. And because of limitations of space, each photograph is merely representative of the many contributions of events, people, personalities, and institutions in the history of our city.
I think it's gorgeous. It's beautiful. I'm really, really impressed.
Oh, this is just exquisite, the whole thing, all the detail. One man over here came up and said, "That's me, that's me." And he brought out his wallet and showed everybody that it was him. It was just marvelous.
And I didn't realize that I thought just some artist did it for the heck of it, but apparently there was a real reason here. So I think it's very nice to see. I like the political one here. It's great. Great.
Well, I feel it's a tremendous amount of accomplishment. Just walking by and seeing the huge mural with all the pictures and stuff, and people are always asking me about it, and I just feel really proud to have done it.
I worked on it and enjoyed working on it, and it gives me great pleasure of participating in this wonderful mural.
I point out the parts that I helped paint, and they say, "Oh yeah?" Some of them believe me that know I did it, but it doesn't matter that they know. It's just the knowing that I know myself, and I come back in 20 years and say, "Hey, I helped paint that," and it's going to be a whole landmark for the city, and I was a part of it. It's a really great feeling.
All the people who participated in this project had something in common. They all had a love of art. Many of them came from art classes. They had an interest in Jewish history, even though a number of our participants weren't Jewish, they had an interest in it. I think the fact that they were able to share together in this, for me, was very important. For me, that's the most important part of the project. I mean, to also, not just the final result, which is beautiful, but I think what makes this mural even more beautiful was the process that took place as a truly community project in getting it done. But I think when it's all over and all said and done, you really gain something from it. And it's just very exciting to finally see that thing up on the wall. I think it's better than I even expected. Let's find a new wall. Where's our next wall?
And the old shall dream dreams, and the youth shall see visions, and our hope shall rise up to the sky. We must live for today, we must build for tomorrow. Give us time, give us strength, give us life. Today's the day I take my stand, the future's mine to hold. Commitments that I make today are
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I really enjoyed it. Hooray!